Tell you, one of the things I like about serving on this committee is the reasonableness of the people on both sides of the aisle and their sensitivity towards small business and the fact that it produces 70% of the new jobs in the United States. I'm going to try to go back and pull together things I've been hearing. And for one thing, one comment was made that speculation has driven some of the more recent rises in the price of gasoline and oil. Well, one of the things that affects speculation is when the marketplace sees that laws are being passed that put more and more of our oil and gas off limits, shale off limits. And I'm on the Natural Resources Committee. It's been breaking my heart for the last 15 months. Bills that we keep passing in that committee, I wouldn't necessarily call them tree huggers. I know they love the world, they love the country, but they have the idea that the higher the price of gasoline, then the less people will use, and therefore the better it will be for the country and world. And I appreciate that. I just don't appreciate passing bills that cause it to go up, that put more and more of our oil and gas off limits, and then blaming people on my side of the aisle for the rising costs in oil and gas. But what you see the market doing, it seems, is when they see us passing these laws, putting more off limits, then they end up, the speculation is, whoops, the price is going to go up, and that drives the speculation up. Some I've heard estimate that we may have 20% of the price of oil, maybe more, that is strictly due to speculation driving that price up. Dr. Orsa, I appreciated hearing you say what I was concerned about and what I've come to be more aware of, and shown figures that the vast majority of these huge profits that some would say were windfall profits are being reinvested in going after more energy. And so, but my friend Mr. Gonzalez, I didn't hear anything he said that I disagreed with. We want to help. I have concerns. I'd love to see the gas tax reduced or eliminated. The problem with that is then you start developing road and infrastructure problems, and we get too far behind, and we're already falling behind. You guys know that. Over-the-road problems with our highways, we're not keeping up. And here we do have a lot of the choir, Pennsylvania, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. Those states are trying to produce energy, trying to help the nation. I filed a bill in the last Congress called the State Hypocrisy Reform Act that simply said, and I just want to help our states that are being hypocrites by saying, if you do not allow oil or gas exploration or production in your state or in your contiguous coastal areas, then you're prohibited from importing any oil or gas from states that do. That way that'll allow them to not be so hypocritical. And one of my friends from Florida said that helped make the point in Florida that if they're going to keep sucking energy out of other states, they ought to really allow it to be produced. I didn't realize till I got on the Resources Committee how much natural gas we have, vast amounts off the West Coast, East Coast, Gulf that's not allowed to be tapped, Great Lakes. The good news is Canada is apparently tapping it, and they're willing to sell us our gas back. Cuba is allowing drilling off its coast to Russia, China. I think Venezuela is going to get in there, and I bet they're going to be willing to sell us our own gas back. But it's ridiculous to put all that off limits. I have concerns when I hear government needs to step in and dictate rates, because that takes me back to the late 70s when we had the long gas lines. But I love your comment about with diesel, just eliminate the extra process, because we had a refinery in my town growing up, and they said diesel will always be cheaper because it's lower on the cracking tower, doesn't cost as much to produce, and therefore it'll be cheaper. And we keep adding all these requirements. So I appreciated your comments there. That might be something we could do quickly, and if the market sees us taking those actions, it might cut down and lower the speculation there as well. But this hearing, we're so limited in what we can do and say. I'm just challenge you to think about these things, what won't hurt our highways, won't hurt the economy, what won't create gas lines, it doesn't have to end at this hearing. You can submit us things in writing that we can consider, put together in bills, because what I say, I'm not really kidding. This committee takes small business propositions very seriously, and you will often see it being made into a law that's filed and getting support behind it. And let me just get comments. You had said you'd like to see the auxiliary power unit so diesel rigs won't have to stay beside the road. My concern is that's going to have to be paid for somewhere. We probably have to add a tax to get that done. Do you see that as an immediate help?
Yes, I see it within a year. I would be really shocked and happy to see the numbers. What it would do, what it is, for anybody that doesn't know what an auxiliary power unit is, it's a small diesel engine, maybe this big, that mounts on a side frame of the tractor trailer. These drivers are required to have so many hours off within the day. When they pull off the road, that motor, the big engine in the truck no longer runs. Okay, it's an auxiliary generator, diesel powered, that supplies heat and air conditioning to the truck. Big motor no longer runs. Emissions take the big dive. The fuel usage takes the big dive. On the average cost right now, there's $7,000 per unit per truck. I don't know if we could get a tax credit for those. If we could get some kind of federal grants, whatever, that would, the numbers in the fuel, less amount of fuel used would be, they're great.
Well, I see my time's expired, but I just encourage y'all to keep thinking. We got some smart people here, and please submit us things in writing that you see could be hard and fast things we could do and do quickly. And I've worked with our chairman before on bills, and I appreciate his common sense approach and would like to do that in the future. Thank you.